In the quiet shadows of early 1991, the world held its breath. A storm was brewing, not a wind and rain, but a steel and fire, gathering silently over the ancient city of Baghdad. For months, the United States had been meticulously assembling a global coalition, a formidable alliance aimed at one man and his nation. Now, they were on the verge of unleashing a military force the likes of which the world had rarely seen. In his fortified bunker deep beneath the city, Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein studied maps, convinced that the impending conflict would be the ultimate test of his power, the battle that would forever define his legacy in the annals of history. He was ready for a fight, believing this would be the mother of all battles. January 16, 1991. A light rain fell on the deserted streets of Baghdad, washing over the city in a deceptive calm. The distant wail of sirens was the only sound piercing the silence, a haunting premonition of what was to come. For the people of Iraq, this was the night they would learn a hard lesson. Some storms don't just pass by, they break with unimaginable violence. Inside his command center, surrounded by his top generals, Saddam exuded an air of defiance. Looking over the strategic charts, he declared with a firm voice, "If war is coming, we will not step back. We will meet it head on." He believed his army, battle-hardened from the long war with Iran, was invincible on its home turf. Then, the storm broke. The night sky over Baghdad erupted in a symphony of destruction. American F-117 Nighthawk stealth bombers, invisible to Iraqi radar, sliced through the darkness, followed by waves of fighter jets and cruise missiles. In a matter of minutes, the world's most advanced military machine unleashed its full, overwhelming power against Iraq's critical infrastructure, communication centers, power grids, air defense sites, and military headquarters were systematically obliterated. For Saddam, who watched the reports, flood in each explosion was a tremor that shook the very foundation of his nation and his rule. The technological gap was immediately, terrifyingly apparent. As chaos reigned above, Iraq's military leadership scrambled for a response. A general, his voice laced with urgency, pleaded with Saddam, "Sir, the Americans are crippling us. We must launch the missiles now. We must strike back." But Saddam, ever the strategist, remained composed. He knew that raw aggression was not enough. Wars are not won by weapons alone, he retorted, but by courage and strategy. Launch the attack, but do it with purpose. His plan was to widen the conflict, to draw Israel into the war by launching Scud missiles at its cities. He hoped this would fracture the American-led coalition, as Arab nations might refuse to fight alongside Israel. On his command, the dramatic, fiery plumes of Scud missiles streaked into the night sky, carrying Saddam's gamble across the desert. However, America and its allies were prepared for this exact scenario. They had anticipated Saddam's move. As the Scuds arched towards their targets in Israel and Saudi Arabia, a new kind of weapon entered the fray, the Patriot missile defense system. On television screens around the world, viewers watched in awe as these interceptors launched into the sky, chasing down the incoming Scuds and destroying them in spectacular mid-air explosions. It was a stunning display of technological superiority. While some Scuds did get through and cause damage and fear, the Patriot system proved to be a powerful psychological and military tool. Iraq had weapons, yes, but America had technology that could counter them in real time. Saddam's strategic gambit had been effectively neutralized. The failure of the Scud attacks and the relentless, round-the-clock Allied air campaign began to take a devastating toll on the morale of the Iraqi army. For weeks, they were pounded from the air, cut off from their supply lines, and isolated in their defensive positions in the Kuwaiti desert. When the ground war finally began on February 24th, the 100-hour war, the collapse was swift and total. Overwhelmed by superior firepower, technology, and tactics, Iraqi soldiers began to surrender in droves. We see images of exhausted, shell-shocked soldiers retreating through the harsh desert landscape. One soldier, collapsing from exhaustion and despair, tells his officer, "Sir, we can't hold them. It's impossible." This wasn't just a defeat, it was the shattering of the myth of Iraq's powerful military. Even as his army disintegrated in the field, Saddam Hussein refused to concede defeat. He took to the airwaves, appearing on Iraqi television to broadcast a message of defiance to his people and the world. With a backdrop of national symbols, he spoke with unwavering conviction. "We will not surrender," he declared, his voice resonating with nationalist fervor. "This land, our sacred soil, is more precious than our own blood. We will fight to the last man." For many Iraqis, His words were a source of strength in a time of national humiliation. For the outside world, it was a sign that even in the face of absolute military defeat, the leader of Iraq would not be broken. His survival was now his primary objective. In just over a month, the war was over. The once mighty Iraqi army was decimated and Kuwait was liberated. The highways leading out of Kuwait City were littered with the burnt-out husks of Iraqi tanks and vehicles, a grim testament to the speed and ferocity of the coalition's victory. Iraq was forced to kneel, accepting all of the UN's terms for a ceasefire. The world had witnessed a new kind of warfare, dominated by technology and precision. But what of Saddam? He was defeated on the battlefield, his military machine in ruins and his regional ambitions crushed. And yet, he remained in power, unbroken and defiant. This moment, this crushing defeat that paradoxically allowed him to survive, would set the stage for another decade of sanctions, conflict, and simmering resentment, ultimately changing the course of history for Iraq, the Middle East, and the world. Thank you for watching. If you found this documentary insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into modern history.